Bum bum. Thinking out loud.
Thinking out loud.
Hello everyone. Today we're discussing criminal psychology, what it is, what it studies, and why it matters.
Criminal psychology is the study of thoughts, motivations, behaviors, and mental processes of individuals who commit crimes. It looks at why people break the law and what factors influence criminal behavior.
It is important to clarify that criminal psychology is not just profiling like we see in television dramas. While profiling can be part of it, the field is much broader and more research-based.
Exactly. Criminal psychologists study personality traits, mental disorders, environmental influences, brain development, and social factors. The goal is to understand patterns in criminal behavior that apply that understanding to prevention, investigation, and rehabilitation.
What causes criminal behavior? One of the biggest questions in criminal psychology is what causes criminal behavior? There's no single answer. Most experts agree that crime results from a combination of biological, psychological, and environmental factors.
For example, some individuals may have biological risk factors such as impulsivity or difficulty regulating emotions. These traits can make someone more prone to aggressive or risky behavior.
Brain development plays a role as well. The prefrontal cortex is responsible for decision-making, impulse control, and understanding consequences. If this area is underdeveloped or damaged, a person might struggle with self-control.
At the same time, environment is extremely important. Childhood abuse, neglect, exposure to violence, poverty, and lack of supervision are strongly linked to higher rates of criminal behavior.
This connects to the nature and nurture debate. Genetics may create vulnerability, but environment often determines how that vulnerability develops.
Another major topic in criminal psychology is personality. Certain personality traits are more common among offenders, especially repeat offenders.
For example, antisocial personality disorder is frequently discussed. It involves a pattern of disregarding rules, violating the rights of others, lying, manipulating, and lacking remorse.
Psychopathy is related but more specific. Psychopathic individuals may show superficial charm, shallow emotions, lack of empathy, and manipulative behavior. Not all psychopaths commit crimes, but high levels of psychopathic traits are often found in serious offenders.
It is important to avoid stereotypes, though. Most people with personality disorders are not violent. Criminal behavior is influenced by many factors that interact, not just a diagnosis.
There is also a common misconception that mental illnesses cause crime. Research shows that most people with mental illness are not violent and are actually more likely to be victims of a crime.
However, certain untreated conditions, especially when combined with substance abuse, can increase the risk of criminal behavior. For example, severe psychosis or mania may impair judgment in some cases.
Substance abuse itself is a major factor in crime. Drug and alcohol reduce inhibition and impair decision-making, which can lead to impulsive acts.
Criminal profiling. Now, let's talk about profiling, since that is what many people associate with criminal psychology.
Criminal profiling involves analyzing crime scene evidence and behavioral patterns to make educated guesses about an unknown offender's characteristics.
Profilers may consider factors such as organization of the crime scene, level of planning, choice of victim, and method of operation.
The goal is not to identify a specific person immediately, but to narrow down suspects and guide investigations.
It is also important to note that profiling is not perfect. It is based on probabilities and patterns, not certainty.
Social influences are another key focus in criminal psychology. Social learning theory suggests that people learn behavior by observing others.
AKA, if someone grows up in an environment where violence or criminal behavior is normalized, they may be more likely to adopt those behaviors.
Peer influence is especially strong during adolescence. Young people are more likely to take risks in group settings.
Furthermore, socioeconomic factors also matter. Limited access to education, employment, and resources can increase stress and reduce legitimate opportunities, which may contribute to criminal activity.
On the topic of the younger generation, juvenile crime is a major area of the study. adolescents are more impulsive and more sensitive to rewards than adults because their brains are still developing.
This does not excuse criminal behavior, but it helps explain why rehabilitation is often more effective with young offenders compared to adults.
Many criminal psychologists advocate for rehabilitation programs that focus on therapy, education, and skill building, rather than punitive approaches.
All right. Criminal psychology is not only about understanding the crime, it is also about preventing it and reducing reoffending.
Cognitive behavioral therapy is commonly used with offenders. It helps individuals identify distorted thinking patterns and develop healthier ways of responding to situations.
Risk assessment tools are also used to estimate the likelihood that someone will reoffend. These tools consider factors such as criminal history, age, substance abuse, and social support.
Prevention programs that target risk youth, improve family support, and provide educational opportunities can significantly reduce crime rates over time.
Now for the ethical considerations. Criminal psychology also involves ethical challenges. Psychologists may be asked to assess competency to stand trial or evaluate whether someone poses a future danger.
These assessments can have serious consequences, so accuracy and fairness are critical.
There is also an ongoing debate about how much responsibility individuals have if biological or psychological factors influence their behavior.
Balancing accountability with understanding is one of the most complex issues in the field.
In summary, criminal psychology examines the biological, psychological, and social factors that contribute to criminal behavior.
It studies personality traits, mental illness, brain development, social influences, and rehabilitation methods.
It also helps law enforcement, courts, and correctional systems make informed decisions.
And finally, most importantly, it reminds us that criminal behavior is rarely caused by one single factor. It is usually the result of multiple influences interacting over time.
Understanding those influences can help reduce crime and create more effective systems of justice.
Thank you for listening to our podcast, and see you next time.